With the insane prices of RAM, SSDs, and now GPUs, these are the two best ways to build a $1,000 gaming PC right now, according to my employees. Hopefully you already saw our first build competition video between Nic and Aidan. These are my so-called PC building experts here at ZTT. That challenge showed off new perspectives outside of my own on how to put together affordable gaming PCs. Not that I was surprised or anything, but these guys definitely proved in that video that they should be working here at ZTT. At least for a little bit longer. The challenge gets even tougher today though, because although they had less money to work with last time, we recorded that video just when the RAM shortage was kicking off, so they were able to buy 32 gig and 16 gig kits no problem, which obviously isn't realistic today. This time they have $1,000 to spend, but almost all of that will have to go towards the current shortage parts, such as the RAM, SSD, and GPU. For the winner this time, you guys get to keep your jobs a little bit longer, and also Wooding sent over a little bit of a care package for you guys. We got the Wooding 60HE V2. We got their UWE, which I don't really know what it is, like a button macro thing.
Oh, okay.
And a detachable cable.
I'm hesitant to be any kind of optimistic.
I don't know. After the last time, I'm feeling a little less secure about how things are gonna go.
I went like all in on CPU and ray tracing. So as long as the tests favor CPU and ray tracing over just like raw raster, I think I'm good. I think I'll be 2-0, but we'll see.
The aesthetics, I think I'm gonna win this time around. It turned out better than I expected. I'll say that, at least looks wise. As for performance though, that's where Nic has been kind of trash talking a little bit.
So I'm gonna be judging these builds both off of performance and aesthetics, and the aesthetics judging starts right now. I'm there. Oh no! Wait, what happened? Oh my God! Let's go! Oh dang!
Oh no,
this is gonna be
Hang
tough.
on. There we go.
Wow. Okay. Real quickly, here's how we're gonna break down the judging. It's similar to last time, except we're adding an extra test specifically for RAM and changing the game lineup a bit. For aesthetics, each contestant can earn up to 4 total points. I'm about to assign those now. For performance, we'll run each build through 5 different games. Cyberpunk with ray tracing, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Black Myth Wukong, Doom the Dark Ages, and our new addition is Anno 117 to make sure we got a game that utilizes the CPU. Whichever build gets the best score will get 1 point for each of these titles. I'm also adding a bonus RAM test that I just vibe coded real quickly. Basically, it's gonna open up as many Chrome tabs until your PC blows up. Literal Ramageddon. We'll tally up the aesthetic score and performance score, and whoever has the most points wins. Again, the winner will receive the care package from Wooding. So this is a little awkward in terms of the aesthetic judging today. I think it's very clear that my eyes are gonna go towards Aidan's beauty over here first. But before we do that, I want to address the possible fire hazard here. This is the NZXT H1, and Nic did let me know off camera that this is not the fire hazard model. I'm gonna level with you here.
It's okay.
The aesthetics are not that good.
It's okay. I had known
Yeah.
beforehand that I was not gonna win the aesthetics judging because of a problem that came up with earlier hardware. So I had to redo a little of my thoughts. I was going to be with this case, but there was gonna be significantly more RGB. White light strips, you know, not a Noctua color scheme fan. It was gonna look much more complete, much more put together. Yeah, I think ITX is gonna hurt me. This build was definitely built for me. Like previously, I mean, it was red and black. It's Zach's favorite color, I mean, ZTT. I wanted to do something a little bit different. I built all ITX systems, so.
I'm not gonna dock points for the H1 because the H1 has potential to be a very aesthetically pleasing build. But we do, of course, have this Noctua unpainted CPU cooler in here. And we also have RGB lights, which the attempt was white. And I don't know how this is gonna look on camera, but they are like very off-white, that yellow that we try to avoid with our pre-builts. Everything is like clean and tidy in here. Not as good as this one.
Ouch.
Aidan, you absolutely nailed the aesthetics, man. Like I'm proud for you. I spent a couple minutes really trying to get dialed in here and I can't find anything wrong with it, man. This is beautiful. Just looking for like a pube or something. I am also a little bit concerned that it looks like there's a pube. There's a hair like right here. All the RGBs actually match up. Red is a super tough color to color coordinate, like with the motherboard, the radiator fans, the RAM, the GPU. It all looks really good. This case is beautiful, open frame design. I have no problems issuing a full 4 out of 4 for the aesthetic score for you. This one's a little bit tougher because of the RGB, the knock to and whatnot. I'm gonna give you a 2 out of 4, man.
It's fine.
Is that okay?
Won't matter. It's all right.
It won't matter. That's gonna set you back a little bit, but we'll see if you can make that up in the performance section. Now, real quickly before we get to the parts list, I'm not gonna lie, the aesthetic judging of this competition wasn't what I expected. In our first video between Nic and Aidan, they both proved that they know exactly what level of aesthetics the judge is looking for, but things are a bit different now. Aidan's build, like I said in my initial reaction, is absolutely beautiful, and honestly, I think we may hang on to this one after the video and put it to use somewhere in the office so I can keep looking at it. Apparently, Aidan's first ever PC build was in this same exact Thermaltake Core P3 case, so he was pretty familiar with it, and you can tell because this just looks incredible. One of the most impressive and honestly surprising parts is that all the red ARGB colors actually match up almost perfectly. I've said this so many times over the years, but the red color specifically is really tough to match up across different brands because they all have different shades, saturation levels, and most of them just look more orange than red. Some of this matching comes down to luck, but no matter how we got here, these just look so good matched up with the actually red case, and even though it doesn't look perfect on camera, just trust me, this is a statement piece of a build and definitely deserves the full 4 points. Now, Nic's build, on the other hand, definitely surprised me just as much, but for 2 different reasons. The first surprise was that I had no idea that he went down the small form factor route. We put a lot of effort behind the scenes to make sure I don't get spoiled and see these builds before we filmed the video, and even when it was on top of the desk, he placed a cardboard box over top of it so it looked like a normal sized gaming PC. The other surprise, unfortunately, is that the aesthetics weren't really dialed in like I know Nic is capable of doing, but after talking about his parts buying journey, it all made complete sense. There were multiple components like the RAM where he originally purchased a really good deal, but the part was faulty and he had to return it a few days later. The problem is that when you buy really good deals or one of one unique parts on the used market, you can't easily get a replacement, and these situations ended up ruining his budget. His initial purchase of all the parts allowed him to spend a little money on the aesthetics, such as an RGB fan that he set to white, and apparently it illuminated up the entire build and looked beautiful, but after having to buy a different RAM kit and even a GPU, he no longer had the room in his budget for the RGB fan. He also said that the unpainted heatsink was super shiny inside with the white lights, so that's why he kept it in there. I didn't know any of that when doing the initial judging, so that's why I ranked him a little bit harsher. I think he still fully agrees with the 2 out of 4 points that I gave him, and it's just a shame that we didn't get to see the full fruition of what he was trying to do with this competition build.
I'm really banking on performance to win here.
All right, now let's move on to the performance, and the first thing we gotta talk about during Ramageddon is, of course, the RAM kits that these guys got. So I'm expecting this one to be a performance powerhouse.
I'm worried that he has an AM5 PC. If he has DDR5, it's just game over.
What is the RAM kit you got in here, Nic?
I have a 32 gigabyte kit of DDR5. T-Force memory, as you can see in there. It is clocked to 5200.
Okay. Not ideal.
Not ideal, but if paired with the CPU,
Yeah.
which is a 7700,
Okay.
I'm thinking that should be a pretty strong performance.
7700 non-X?
Non-X.
Okay. All right, before I ask about your GPU, Aidan, what do we got over here for RAM?
I got 32 gigs of DDR4
Okay.
clocked at 3600 with CL16.
Oh, wow. So a really good DDR4 setup, not ideal, but still upgraded DDR5. What is your CPU?
It is a Ryzen 7 5800X.
Is that what you did last time?
That's what he did.
Oh, that's what you did last time. Okay, we got, yet again, NVIDIA versus AMD over here. What is your NVIDIA GPU, sir?
I have a 4070 Super.
4070 Super, wow. Aidan?
I have a 7900 XT.
XT is crazy.
Wow, excellent work, Aidan. Yeah, this could be a boring video. Sorry, guys. All right, well, let's start benchmarking.
Oh, I'm ecstatic.
Before we do that though, I want to dive into the entire parts list to see what Nic and Aidan put into their builds. As a reminder, they kept these total build prices under $1,000 and they could use any combination of new and used parts. The only rule about the used parts was that they had to stay in the state of Pennsylvania, which both of them apparently did. We'll start with Aidan's build again, and even though we talked about the 3 performance parts already with the Ryzen 7 5800X, 32 gigs of DDR4, and the RX 7900 XT, I do feel obligated to emphasize just how crazy of a GPU this is for for a $1,000 build. Even though the 7900 XT is a generation old, this is still a top-of-the-line graphics card, and compared to the more current models, it's competing around the RTX 5070 Ti level of performance. That is some absolute insane power for a $1,000 gaming PC, especially considering that the MSRP of this GPU was $900 when it came out just a couple of years ago. He ended up paying $450 for it used off Facebook Marketplace, but it actually ended up costing him a lot more. On his way to pick it up, apparently he accidentally ran over some roadkill and the bones of the animal popped his tire. The car mechanic he took it to did what mechanics usually do and convinced him that it wasn't repairable, so he had to replace all 4 tires. The final cost of this build project was probably about 2 builds if we're being honest, but on paper by itself, this $450 pickup was a steal and a half. Now, one other part of his build that caught my attention was that I immediately noticed he didn't have an M.2 NVMe SSD. He resorted to a 2.5-inch SATA drive, and this wasn't him getting super stingy and just trying to play the competition to win, but it was actually a similar situation to what Nic went through. He originally set up a purchase for a perfectly normal 1TB NVMe, bought all the parts with a very specific budget amount remaining, but then the seller of the drive stood him up.
I'm so close to crashing out. I'm this close! He was left with having to purchase an SSD with only about $70, and in this economy, an NVMe drive like that is really tough to do, if not impossible. Now, in the real world, these types of situations probably wouldn't happen to you. You can probably squeeze out a few extra dollars or wait for another paycheck so you can continue your builds. But with a build competition like this, we weren't giving the option to go over budget. That can result in these guys having to use parts that they didn't want to just to get a functioning PC. And the only reason this is a functioning PC somehow under budget is all these other crazy deals. He got the Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro 32GB DDR4 kit for exactly $100 off Facebook Marketplace. The 5800X was $149 off eBay, and he paid $60 for the P3 case off Facebook Marketplace, and he even got a full water cooling loop that he ended up deciding not to use. But now let's work our way over to Nic's build, and even though he doesn't have as good of a GPU, everything else in here might be a boost up compared to Aidan's. Being on the AM5 platform at this price range is really tough to do right now, but the Ryzen 7 7700 and 32 gigs of DDR5 are definitely going to help him for the benchmarks. The RTX 4070 Super is still a really good GPU. The only reason it's not getting the love is because of Aidan's even better card. Outside of that, Nic's got a full Gen 4 1TB NVMe in here, which is better, an NZXT 650 watt power supply, the one that's built into his case, and yeah, this NZXT H1 is indeed the version 1 fire hazard, but it's got the V2 upgrade kit to get rid of that issue. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go back and watch creators talk about this like 5 years ago. When this case launched, it was absolutely chaos because of how easily you could reproduce the fire, and it was super dangerous to leave in your house. Now, Nic also had some problems sourcing some of these parts just like Aidan did, and at some point we'll start following these guys along during these competitions so you can see what all they go through. Apparently, Nic bought a different 4070 Super, but then realized in the pictures that it was actually a non-Super model. He had to refund that one. He also had the problem with the RAM kit that I explained earlier, and to top it off, his phone died while traversing through the mountains trying to buy the local SSD deal. He got lost. It was a whole thing. Honestly, the sourcing of these parts should probably be its own video. Just know that these guys are putting in some real work trying to score all these local deals. Not a single part in Nic's PC was bought brand new, so they definitely are going all out for these competitions. Let's see if it pays off though during the benchmarking, and we'll start with the RAM test given the current state of the PC hardware market. There's actually a lot on the line here to start things off because we were all pretty confident Aidan's PC would win in the non-ray tracing titles, which is most of them. In order to keep the competition close, Nic would have to pull off some victories during the RAM and CPU focused benchmarks.
If I lose the first 2 tests, so.
But somehow, someway, Nic's DDR5 actually lost the RAM test compared to Aidan's DDR4. We have no idea if his slower 5200 megahertz DDR5 was the culprit, or maybe I just vibe coded this program like an amateur. Honestly, I don't want to give this test too much value, and it was more for the memes, but I do gotta award Aidan for the first performance score of the competition. The Cyberpunk with ray tracing test was certainly close, but this is the exact test that's gonna favor Nic's build. That CPU temperature over here is what's concerning though. We'll just bring this out.
Yeah,
Just in case.
Let's put that right there.
Even though the RX 7900 XT in Aidan's PC has more raw horsepower, it still loses in ray tracing performance to the 4070 Super. We're tied up 1-1 after that one.
Oh no, you crashed.
Unexpected GPU error has occurred.
Unexpected, yeah. Keyword, I had expected this fully.
You can't beat this kind of performance, you know what I mean?
All right, I'm officially rooting for Nick from now on. I regret everything I said in the interview, just to be clear. I definitely want Aidan to redeem himself.
I wasn't worried one bit this whole time. Like, I knew I was gonna win.
After the last time, I'm feeling a little less secure.
Aidan's cockiness might kill this series.
It's not cockiness, I'm confident that I'm gonna win.
I'm gonna try to keep myself a little level-headed this time around.
I know it's crazy that even at this point, Aidan was smack talking that much. You can tell he's still salty from the first build competition, but he might start to regret all this confidence after this next test. Anno 117 didn't end up utilizing the CPU as much as I was hoping for, but it's still putting some good stress on them, and as expected, Nick's build comes out clutch again, getting a bit higher score than Aidan's. The AM5 platform definitely got its chance to flex on this one compared to AM4.
Not hearing any smack talking from Aidan right now, which is a good thing.
With a 2-1 performance lead, we all thought Nick was on the road to a monster comeback because his PC somehow won in Black Myth Wukong as well. We discovered though that I'm not exempt from some good old-fashioned user error because I accidentally set the graphics settings to 75% resolution. Once we reran the test fair and square, Aidan's PC got the dub on this one, so we're tied up at 2-2.
Next game, Doom the Dark Ages.
This one I definitely didn't expect because for one, Nick's PC ended up using a lot more CPU than Aidan's did. Aidan's PC also had some serious frame drops compared to Nick's. At first, this was a just squeezed out type of victory for Nick, and maybe the forced ray tracing in this game is what put him on top. Again though, I screwed up these benchmarks because Aidan's PC was running at 1080p instead of 1440p.
Why do I keep doing this?
After I reran them correctly, Nick's PC actually dominated this one, so he's up 3-2 in the performance section with 1 game to go.
We are somehow on the last game, which is Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Aidan is only up with a 1-point lead, 6-5. So we're gonna see if Nick can pull off the comeback of the year and tie this competition up.
Of the year, it is March.
Yeah. It's been a good year, man.
It is if I win.
All right, come on. Give us some data.
Get out of here, man.
52, that, it is very high. The SSD is slowing down. 59 to start.
Oh, come on, man. 59? Why don't we take a look over here?
That's super close.
Super close. What are you talking about? 10 FPS? That's not close at all.
We might as well start double checking these settings now.
You know, when Aidan wins, it's a problem. You did just have a massive
It
drop
might
right there.
come all down to this. So do you. You got a few, you got a lot of drops.
Look at that spike right there.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it doesn't harm my performance if I'm still up.
Look at the consistency over here.
Consistency.
We might give a point for that.
Good thing we're not judging on consistency.
We are now. You had a good run.
You did have a very good
That was
run, I
a-
will say that.
Commendable run.
If I didn't lose to a vibe-coded Chrome test.
I've been in your shoes and it does hurt. You have my sympathy.
Yeah, I don't feel bad.
All right.
I don't need your pity.
Wait, hang on, catch this. You're running on a Steam Deck, my guy.
Hey, can you look at the...
I'm still winning, you know. That's not compensating for much.
54 FPS for Nick. It's gonna come down to 60 with Aidan. So Aidan is gonna get 1 more point to polish off this benchmarking run.
All right, good game. Good game. All right, bring on the keyboard.
I'm gonna try to keep myself a little level-headed this time around.
Thankfully, the competition ended up being closer than I anticipated because as soon as Aidan said his GPU was a 7900 XT at the beginning, I honestly thought it was over. Nick's DDR5 and AM5 PC put up quite the fight, especially with the boost in ray tracing performance, but all that wasn't enough to overcome the deficit in points he didn't receive during the aesthetic judging.
Well, that wraps up round 2 of our build competition series. Congrats again to Aidan for being the better PC builder today
sir.
and going home with the care package we got from Wooding. Shout out to Wooding for sending us the 60HE V2. You have earned this.
Perfect.
But now real quickly, before I go, hold on, I'll be right back.
Huh? What?
This was not scripted.
That-
This was not scripted.
A new puppy.
Yeah, right?
Wooding has the hookup because they're also hooking up our boy Nick. They also sent their Wooding 80HE. I will let you decide who gets which, but thank you very much, Wooding. That way I didn't have to pay for prizes. But congrats to Aidan for being the better builder today.
I'm very stoked. I'm very happy that I was able to pull ahead this time around because last time We all know how that went.
It is unfortunate, but Aidan had a great build. I mean, that thing looks insane. So congrats to him. And it was close. So
Be sure to let us know in the comment section what price range or even the theme we should do for the next challenge. And if you missed the first round of the competition, that video is up on the screen right now.